Alright, guys, I'm back with another chapter in Joshua. We're in Joshua chapter 17, where the header reads, The Land Given to West Manasseh. I'm going to get right into it. The next allotment of land was given to the half-tribe of Manasseh, the descendants of Joseph's older son. Machir, the firstborn son of Manasseh, was the father of Gilead. Because its descendants were experienced soldiers, the regions of Gilead and Bashan on the east side of the Jordan had already been given to them. So the allotment on the west side of the Jordan was for the remaining families within the clans of the tribe of Manasseh: Abiezer, Helek, Asriel, Shechem, Hepher, and Shemida. These clans represent the male descendants of Manasseh, son of Joseph. However, Zelophehad, a descendant of Hepher, son of Gilead, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, had no sons. He had only daughters, whose names were Mahlah, Noah, Haglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. These women came to Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the Israelite leaders, and said, The Lord commanded Moses to give us a grant of land along with the men of our tribe. So Joshua gave them a grant of land along with their uncles, as the Lord had commanded. As a result, Manasseh's total allocation came to 10 parcels of land, in addition to the land of Gilead and Bashan across the Jordan River, because the female descendants of Manasseh received a grant of land along with the male descendants. The land of Gilead was given to the rest of the male descendants of Manasseh. The boundary of the tribe of Manasseh extended from the border of Asher to Michmethath near Shechem. Then the boundary went south from Michmethath to the settlement near the spring of Tappuah. The land surrounding Tappuah belonged to Manasseh, but the town of Tappuah itself, on the border of Manasseh's territory, belonged to the tribe of Ephraim. From the spring of Tappuah, the boundary of Manasseh followed the Kanah ravine to the Mediterranean Sea. Several towns south of the ravine were inside Manasseh's territory, but they actually belonged to the tribe of Ephraim. In general, however, the land south of the ravine belonged to Ephraim, and the land north of the ravine belonged to Manasseh. Manasseh's boundary ran along the northern side of the ravine and ended at the Mediterranean Sea. North of Manasseh was the territory of Asher, and to the east was the territory of Issachar. The following towns within the territory of Issachar and Asher, however, were given to Manasseh: Bethshan, Ibleam, Dor, that is, Naphoth Dor, Endor, Tanakh, and Megiddo, each with their surrounding settlements. But the descendants of Manasseh were unable to occupy these towns because the Canaanites were determined to stay in that region. Later, however, when the Israelites became strong enough, they forced the Canaanites to work as slaves, but they did not drive them out of the land. The descendants of Joseph came to Joshua and asked, Why have you given us only one portion of land as our homeland, when the Lord has blessed us with so many people? Joshua replied, If there are so many of you, and if the hill country of Ephraim is not large enough for you, clear out land for yourselves in the forest where the Perizzites and Rephites live. The descendants of Joseph responded, It's true that the hill country is not large enough for us, but all the Canaanites in the lowlands have iron chariots, both those in Bashan and its surrounding settlements, and those in the valley of Jezreel. They are too strong for us. Then Joshua said to the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh, the descendants of Joseph, Since you are so large and strong, you will be given more than one portion. The forest of the hill country will be yours as well. Clear as much of the land as you wish, and take possession of its farthest corners, and you will drive out the Canaanites from the valleys too, even though they are strong and have iron chariots. And that's the end of chapter 17, guys. What blows my mind is the continued doubting of anyone when they see the might of God. Other nations see this and fear them and look to make treaties and look to be deceitful just to appease them. And so it's so crazy that when you're in that season of blessing, you can't see it, which is what makes me appreciate the hard times. even for myself, I don't enjoy them. I'm not so ignorant to say that my walk with God is so perfect that I'm just like, oh yeah, I love it. I can't wait for more hardship. But appreciate is such an appropriate word, because that's where your faith is tested, and that iron sharpens iron. It blows my mind how appropriate it is to have these times of hardship or have these tests that God sends to ensure you're walking the straight and narrow. Because even this, during their blessings, during their victories, they're presented with further testing of, hey, there's this enemy, and we see that he's mighty. We've already accrued all these victories. In fact, just a couple chapters beforehand is just a list of all the conquered kings' names, and I think it's totals 31, which is crazy because that means it's hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people that they destroyed and conquered, and those that they didn't destroy or conquer, they allied with. And that was unbeknownst to them. We know that there were some that sneakily did that, and so I'm blown away at the continued doubt, but it makes me frustrated at myself because I'm no different. But when I see it written down for everybody to remember, I look at it with such a selfish lens. I guess it would be a pious lens. Say, did you not walk close enough with God? Were you not closely, and we're not in close enough contact and getting direct direction from somebody who is in specific communication with God? Like literally word for word. He seeks out his counsel and he reveals it to them, and they come and they translate it for us, or just simply give us direction based on it. And the fact that there's such doubt makes me mad at myself, because I'm not saying that I audibly hear God, but I can see his movement in my life, and for me to deny him a spot of just glory when I continue to be put in positions in order to serve people, in order to increase the resources for my family. Now, do I still get frustrated all the time because there's all these things? Yeah, but it's the flesh's interpretation of lack, even though I continue to acquire more. And so part of that is frustration that I know that I have to work out. But a lot of it is just that constant battle of the flesh that's going to happen till the day that I die. I take that last breath and then go be with him. I can't wait to get the order that Moses got. So go climb that mountain. You're going to die now. You're going to go be just like your ancestors were. But that means in communion with you. I'm running up that mountain. And that's where I want to be. I want to be there every day. And while I'm here, I'm just serving and loving. While I'm trying to live that out every day. Some days are harder than others. I'll be the first to admit that. Whenever things get tough, it makes me appreciate him more. And so I don't want the easiest life ever. I want a fulfilled life. I want an accomplished life through Christ. And so chapter 17 of Joshua is interesting. Continue doubting. But it's so powerful. It's so powerful to be put in such a tough position to where you are forced to watch God work in your life. But it's a humbling place to be, and an inspirational place to be, honestly. But on that note, have a good night. God bless. I love you. Jesus loves you. And I'll be back for chapter 18 of Joshua tomorrow, where the header reads, the allotments of the remaining land. Have a good night and God bless, guys. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow.